Good afternoon and greetings from Bill Back and Farmer Bill. The funds are from Mays Valley Farm Market and Winery out in the tomato patch, and in particular out in the heirloom tomato patch. I'm not a fountain of information, I know, on the varieties that we select, but these are our heirlooms that we grew this year. My father-in-law, Kay, does all this growing. I help out where I can, a little bit of spraying and marketing and selling. I'm the guy who kind of takes care of the farmers markets, but with about, I don't know, 200-300 different varieties of different crops we're growing, I kind of lose track. I'm sorry, I apologize. I should do better, but maybe next time. Anyhow, the heirloom tomatoes came along pretty nice this year. You see we have some kind of coming here. Heirloom, they tend to be this kind of gnarly looking shape here, not that spherical, smooth-bodied plant that you usually see, more characteristic of a California or Mexico or a shipper tomato, they call it, or a hothouse tomato. They call them a shipper because they can ship across the country, and that way you can have tomatoes in the wintertime because I'll tell you, it's going to be kind of hard for us to grow them out here, as I've been mentioning, when we have those 17 and 18 degree below zero days. However, we're kind of working on that. We're looking at some greenhouse production this year. A little different twist, a little different angles, so we get a little bit of flavor into those tomatoes growing in the inside instead of having those sawdust varieties that everybody complains about all the time. Nobody wants their food shipped across the country. Nobody wants their food from Mexico, but they want it to taste good. So it's a challenge. Hey, we'll give it a shot. We'll give it a roll. Anyhow, I have a video way back when. It got really high ratings. I was surprised. Us planting tomatoes, it got like 5 YouTube stars. Here's what they look like later in the season. So if you saw that video and you saw us putting them in the ground with the transplanter, here's what they look like months later. And they're looking pretty good this year. We've been relatively successful in keeping the disease and fungus and blight out of them. This is September 7th, 2009. It's been a cold, dreary, cool, and dry early summer and then wet later summer. So pretty much just a devil's brew of crap to be thrown at plants. And tomatoes are really susceptible to blight, especially heirloom tomatoes. They don't like that a whole lot. That's why they've been kind of pushed aside over the years, as producers found them to be particularly challenging to put up against with all the diseases and things that would come along. But we gave it a try this year and kind of have a good fungicide program working with them that's keeping the blight away. And that's what you have to do this time of year. The days get shorter, you get foggy mornings, you get a lot of fungus, a lot of just all kinds of pathogens kind of coming in, landing on the leaf surface, landing on the stalks, landing on the stems, and creating a problem. It'll defoliate them basically and make them not be able to make great fruit. So far, so good. So here, yeah, we got a few weeds out here. Nothing's perfect. But when I showed you our pumpkin patch, the train wreck that we had there, and I showed you the watermelon patch and where the wheels came off the wagon there, tomatoes are doing great this year. Especially when I say you factor in the weather conditions where I don't know if we had 3 or 4 days over 90 all summer long. We usually have that many in July. Our growing degree days, as I mentioned in the other video, we're usually somewhere around 21, 22, 2300 growing degree day units here. I'll wait till the stats are done when the year's over, but I'm pegging we're going to come in at about 2/3, 3/4 of that. It was overcast, cool, not exceptionally wet even, so the crops that weren't irrigated were going through drought stress and cool stress at the same time. And then a little bit later, it rained, so they went through drought, cool stress, and water stress. These are on drip irrigation. If you look over into the one pepper video, I pull up the drip tape and show you the water coming out of there. So here we are in the Mays Valley Mater patch. And I'm not talking about tomato from Cars. I'm talking about tomatoes from Mays Valley. Once again, Bill Back and the funds are from Mays Valley Farm Market and Winery, saying thank you for stopping by.